Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the GF World Connector Series 2021. But of course, this is, after all, an event under this specific name, and the GF Esports Cup Moldova is what you are gonna be watching. After one great game coming in from the side of 228 inside of Nuke, we'll be looking at the second part of this grand final best of 3 series here in Mirage. My name is Abstract. With me here is Gobbles, and we will be your caster for today's game.
Today's game is all getting hot and spicy. 228 just taking out every single member on the side of Cybermind, and in fact, they all fall without a response at all. 228 getting a clean pistol round at that, and that will calm down a lot of the pressure that they had earlier on from Nuke, right? 16 to 14, 228 barely getting us across the line. Now going to round number 2, and AUG purchased up onto the hands of Poker. Going into its middle as well. Cybermind, they look as though they want to contest it. 5 Deagles on the board. Who's going to win the duel? It's going to be Yoka holding down the spray. 4
kills in the bag in this specific shooting range. They tried to play something a little bit different, right? 4-man toss right into middle, and one person just running right into Palace. I think that the one man in Palace is the one that was holding onto the C4. I'm not too sure, but it may very likely be the strategy that they had in mind initially.
Yeah, but okay, that was just a Deagle round, right? So now they can get the AKs out. Not much utility though behind it. So interesting to see how 2T opt to play this. Do they opt to play slower, or do they opt to take the fights out in middle? Because there's 2 players in towards the collector, 1 towards shot at the moment. Cybermind making no secret of their presence out in the middle, and trades coming back and forth. It's gonna be the T side to come out on top. 2 versus 3. If you're 228 with 2 MP9s, you probably opt to gamble towards one of the sites, and Cybermind immediately forfeiting mid control, leaving 1 player there, and the bomb just checking the flank before grouping up with his teammate in towards the apartments. And 228 though, they've actually gambled, and looks as though they've placed their bets at the right side. They're on B, and that's exactly where Cybermind are headed.
The 2 of the members coming from 228 that did kind of stack B in the right time, because most of the time they will want to split between A and B, but we'll see how that's gonna go, as it does seem like Cybermind, they have immediately initiated onto B side. They managed to bring 1 man down right smack in the center of B, and the other one just popped up from absolutely nowhere, and thus an easy round over to the side of Cybermind. The initial phase of round number 3, it seemed as though Team 228, they were very decisive as to what they wanted to do. They had all the utilities being thrown right through the roof, right into nest, and even smokes and the Molotovs and all over the place. It was rather surprising to see, but unfortunately, they just wasn't able to close the round out. But speaking of closing, it does seem like this game might be closed out pretty darn soon, because Cybermind 3 man has already been downed by that fast initiation coming from 228, but Vorin pops right out from underpass and immediately gave every single one of the members coming from 228 eat lead.
Very good output from 228, right? Just 1 Deagle, 2 flashes, and a smoke. But 228 managed to take down 3 players on the side of Cybermind, right? 1 TK in the mix. But if you're on the T side, you're gonna be thinking, you know, we could have kept it cleaner. We probably should have kept it cleaner, right? It's not a new strat to see CT just flashing out middle, out of the connector smoke, taking on the duels. But Cybermind, they do have 2 rounds on the board. Even Stevens at the moment, and same case for the trades. 4 and 4. Ops been shown. Second kill as well from Nobi. 228 had a brief man advantage, but it's just trades back and forth at the moment. Things have slowed down just a little bit, and what we do end up with is Sinky into its connector, possibly taking control of jungle, whilst his teammates creep up in towards the A side. There's only 1 player there for now. That's gonna be Tofi.
He himself alone can't possibly hold out against all three members. He's finding himself inside of CT base, with the rest of the 228 members just gonna be creeping around with one person in nest and the other one in B short. But it does seem like Toffee is doing a pretty darn good job in eliminating his adversaries. And even for F1 guard, he popped right in at the right time by connector. And Cybermind, they didn't even have the opportunity to work with the execution inside of A. Toffee is just all over the place. He single-handedly shut down that entire execution before it even started.
He slipped the net, right? There's a player in sandwich the entire time, possibly calling that, triple was clear, right? He held the angle so that nobody was there, but in that short space where he looked back, made sure there was nobody under Palace, made sure his teammate could cross over the side safely, gets caught off, player up in triple, and that's going to be a huge bonus for 228 because now all they have to deal with is a bit of a broken buy. 2 AKs, yes, sure, but a couple of deagles on the hands of Cybermind, not looking too good. Although they could still pack a punch. So let's see if they are able to at least make 228. They have to go for a couple of rebuys, but not looking likely at the moment. Very slow, waiting just for the CTs to use up all the bits and pieces of utility. Another smoke for Palace, that's an interesting lineup. But should be nothing too much to write home about. Smoke will go up for top connector. But it's very odd, right? You don't really have the best weaponry. So even if you smoke off connector, a player can be stats. It's going to be unchallenged. And in fact, there is a player at Palace and a player at Sandwich. So yeah, 228, they're not going to be flustered by the top connector smoke. That's allowed Litovka to actually creep up catwalk though. Could still make things interesting.
You
So
have
let me give
a
his good
full
credit.
view though. Yeah, I mean, he has the full view all the way through the center line of a site. Whoever crosses that line is going to be in trouble, but you can pretty much see from right through the minimap. We do have Litovka rushes right across of mid. He makes himself right to the stands, but unfortunately, they're in jungle. Ansari just comes right in, swoop in for the kills, and now Vorin is going to be the last man remaining, wielding that C4 and a couple of AK. There really wasn't much that he could do. The time has also been ticking down. Everything else is just not working towards Cybermind's favor. And now 4-2. We can pretty much be expecting the 228 with a decent, good economy, while Cybermind probably still forced with either a force buy or even a eco, which I would suppose an eco would be the right choice.
Yeah, most likely it's going to be maybe a deagle on the players that can afford it, right? But a lot of the responsibility for this upcoming round is going to lie on the hands of Vorin, right? The saved AK with the head armor. The only player to have head armor in this round, unless Cybermind do decide to force in, which I doubt. But you can see them taking a timeout because the economy is kind of in shambles, right? Last round it was a broken buy. This round, economy is still not looking good. So certainly taking the time to talk things through, make sure that everybody's on the same page. You don't want this game to start spiraling out of control. And if you look at this, the last 4 games for 228 on Mirage, take a look at the scoreline abstract. It's been 16-1, 16-2, 16-4, 16-0. It's looking a little bit scary if you're on the side of Cybermind. In contrast, right, there is the results for Cybermind on Mirage. 2 losses, a 2-16 loss and a 14-16 loss, sandwiching a 16-6 victory. So a little bit of mixed bag there. A second timeout being called.
This is starting to get a little bit tough, right? Especially since Cybermind is the one that called out for this timeout. They are gonna be taking the time to understand the strategy, if whether they're gonna be playing fast or they are playing slow. It's just take some time to collect themselves, understand what would be the right play to go. Because so far they have been playing in somewhat of a hybrid kind of possession, right? They go fast, they go slow sometimes. It really is a really adaptive way of working with 228. Like, if whether 228 is taking control of mid, do they have any utilities that's being popped? If so, then should they go slow? The kind of things that happens quite a lot. And Cybermind would want to take some time alone and just recollect the memories. What is the best way to counter against 228? What is the play style of 228? And what is the hard counter against them?
think about Mirage though, it's a map that's played so many times, right? Everybody knows what are the standard reactions, standard protocol, standard executes for both T and CT, right? So if on the T side, you need to try and figure the questions that you posed earlier fast, right? But the thing about 228 is, if you look at it at the moment, they're constantly switching up the way they play. Right, one round they're very aggressive in towards middle, the next round they're not. You can see the previous round they were just focused on towards side defense. Now, nope. Playing retake on that A side, looking for the isolated duel onto Voran. That's the lone AK dead. Down for the count. The rest of the attack going on towards this B side. Just Tech 9s and Deagles, but at the moment 228 just grinding them down to bits. Nice bit of spray transfer there from Ansari, but that's not going to yield him too much in the grand scheme of things, because Mina will claim the body of Christ, and that's going to be 5-2 now for 228. Gun round coming back out for Cybermind.
5-2. 228 is confident. It's just confident right through the roof. There's really not much that is going to be stopping them at this point of time. And like you were saying, they are playing in quite a bit of variations, right? Different strategies here and there. And I got to commend them with that level of boldness, because you are pretty much on a roll, right? Whatever that you did worked, but then you would go that far to not be that predictable and play in a different style of playing, and that could leave your team vulnerable to some tactics. It just doesn't work with Cybermind. And in fact, this very specific tactic may very well be something that Cybermind is able to make full use of. So 228, I suppose that they are also in some sense in a state of exploratory, whereby they want to understand if any specific playstyles is doing them in favor or against them.
Interesting round there. We saw the bomb head up towards a ramp very early on. Right? I think 228 they might have spotted mid out as well. So because of that, they opt to keep a couple more players towards this A side, and Cybermind they just walk out B, get a couple of kills, and just like that, 5 players remaining on the T side. 3 players not even given a chance in this round. That was until Mina collects the head of Craze. But yeah, nothing too much to write home about, right? 7 players remaining at the end of the round just tells us a good story of how the round went, right? The moment 228 knew they lost the B side, it was like, there's no point in even retaking, right? It's a very tough side to retake, and yeah, they just opt to concede the round, and Cybermind catching 228 off guard, perhaps. So now perhaps this is where we start to see a little bit more of a standard setup coming back off from the CT side, making sure that they're able to react fast, because that round they opted to go for A main aggression. Didn't work out too much. Play into a shot, just make the shot jump, but doesn't connect the shot. And because of that, they have to relinquish mid control. Play connector still wanting to fight it though. Smoke's about to fade. This could get very dangerous for both sides as Mina finds the kill.
It's a really good shot indeed. Now they still don't have the control over mid, but as long as the A side is not completely lost, all is good. They still have got eyes right on the connector as Litovka immediately popped right through. Good amount of trades from left, right, and center. Is going to be left with 3 versus 2 with Cybermind onto the disadvantageous side. The C4 is now being dropped right outside of... Yeah, it's just outside of jungle, and I just don't see a way for them to reclaim the C4 anytime soon, unless we've got Vorin comes in from behind through market and being able to bring Toffee down, as well as Fixed God, because that's the best play that they can have. As long as they bring these 2 members down, they are available for a wide range of rotation and wouldn't be any problems for them whatsoever. And just like that, Anscary opens it all up. Softic goes down. Vorin is the last man remaining. Still no access over to the side of the C4. And he is in a pretty vulnerable position. Cybermind will probably have to concede this round, but alas, he did not. Vorin squeezed through that tiny little peephole, that little crawl space, and still got shot right in the chest.
Very close there, with the HE landing right on the money onto Vogno, right? There was a moment where you thought, hey, Cybermind could actually claw this back, right? Especially with Vorin's flank out towards B, but unfortunately wasn't to be. 228 now. Just preventing Cybermind from ever getting the ball rolling, right? Unable to string a couple of rounds together, so that's going to keep the economy on. As you can see, Vorin, his mind is completely off from the rest of his teammates. right? Because now he's back down to Deagle while his teammates are able to get out the AKs and no more utility left. So how do Cybermind opt to play out the rest of this half? Rest of this round, Vorin trying to find the isolated duo, gets the kill and gets the weapon. That's the most important part now. Try to take the fight, opens the B side up. Poker with the trade with the AWP brings the round to halt because Cybermind, they haven't been able to plant themselves on that B side. And because of that, a minute to play with. In the pause button, there was until Mina gets the man advantage for 2-8.
The B-side's open, and they tried to go for a runway rundown right by apartments. That was just nutty coming from the side of Unfixed God. The timing was impeccable, but I just gotta say though, Cybermind, they did have a really good opening, but unfortunately everything else after that just went down into the drain. Whatever that Vorin did, the Deagle as well as the Employee 1S. But the rest of the team coming from Cybermind, they're just unable to close out the round. Vorin died prematurely. He wasn't able to completely secure the entire side. I mean, let's be real. What can he exactly do in a site that is being, well, defended by 3 people? Him alone being 2% down is already more than everyone ever asked for. And right now, it does seem like Cybermind has decided to put themselves into the fast boot as it rushed right into B side, brings 2% down, make that 3. Unfortunately, 3 of their own members has been sacrificed for that very extent, and they closed out that round by bringing more of that lead into their opponent's bodies. Cybermind gladly took that 1 round for themselves, and 2-8 still stuck with that number 7. It's not exactly stuck though. They're still doing pretty well with that.
There was a round with just bare pistols, Tech 9s, Deagles. Cybermind managed to make it work. That's gonna be... That's gonna force 2-8 to reconsider the way they play on B, right? It's been 2 rounds now that you've lost the B side. 1 round, it went unpunished because you still won the round, but you lost 2 players to a Deagle. And the next, you get pounced upon by 5 hounding wolves on the side of Cybermind. Now they go into A. Simple A execute coming out from this T side. Nope. Try to stand his ground to lit off with the trade, but again, nope. The A anchor just doing all the work for his team at the moment. They know a player potentially has hit the net, and he is gonna get 4.
A 4K? That was easy peasy. That was literally what Beast is looking out for. Then Anchor coming in from the side of 2-8. In fact, I will say that was definitely a skilled round. But Cybermind, their communications was pretty much in shambles.
A player default never getting cleared, right? If the first guy falls, yeah, sure, the guy's taking the entry duel. But surely at this level, there has to be someone behind him to trade. Right, the side was clear. There was only a player there fighting. I'm not really sure why Cybermind couldn't get the trade. Nobody swung opposite side of default as well. But blind shot will land Vorin the kill. Will he be tempted in? Mina
legged it.
Ooh.
Minato. It's just too frenzied right now. Too flustered.
Fast up connection. What?
What is going on in this game? 2-8, they have positioned themselves right into the faces of Cybermind. Great shots coming in from Minato just now. He legged the opponent, and now is just landing all those shots onto anyone that is just holding himself up onto Tetris. The last man remains. Oh! Naughty shots coming in from Anscary. The C4 has been planted, and just like that, just a small little pixel from the side of Cybermind was exposed, and 2-8 took all of the opportunities to put the final nail in the coffin. 9-4, and we are coming into the end of the first half real soon.
Ridiculous round from Beast, right? The round before, he gets 4 kills on the A execute. The next, he leaves a fight connector, gets a ridiculous spray transfer onto the 2T's coming up connector. And because of that, swings the pendulum back in the favor of 2-8 now. Fast up towards middle. Mina standing his ground again. AWP 2 kills above his 1-way. Cybermind, what do you do? 2 players make that 3. Mina. time after time. Again,
What?
4. Give him the ace. He's gonna get it. All 5 for 228.
Oh, what was that? What was that? All 5 of them swarming and flooding into the crosses of Minato. I mean, I gotta give it over to Minato. I mean, he definitely knew what was going on. His positioning was impeccable. He knew where the opponents was coming. 2-person, catwalk, switch over, underpass, get back up onto mid is exactly what Minato was looking out for. All 5 kills right from middle. 228, they are playing their hearts out. While Cybermind, on the other hand, they are just getting mowed down like no tomorrow.
This. It's getting a little bit twitchy now. We talked about how good 228 were on Mirage, right? The last 4 games, they've never conceded more than 4 rounds. And Cybermind, they're already on 4. So if history it was meant to repeat itself, then Cybermind shouldn't be able to get a single round after this. But let's see, right? The pistol round could be what starts the comeback for them, right? If they want to take themselves to 3rd, secure themselves 3rd place, then they definitely need this. But 228, they look hot to trot right now. Simple BXQ coming in. 2 smokes, 3 flashes. Smokes go in now, possibly for market window and short. First kill goes in, and now the B side under attack. 228, clean as you like. Another. Oh.
That is absolutely disgusting. Where are all these shots coming in from? We've got 228 just literally clicking heads and not giving a damn. They are just working this out like normal routine, like they are in a matchmaking server. It is not a tournament anymore. 228, they're just rushing right in. I mean, alas, it is a formidable strategy, just running right in, don't give a damn, just click heads. It's as simple as it sounds, but 228, they made it look so much easier than it actually is.
That's the biggest surprise, right? 228 looking very good. The game didn't start off exactly too well for them, right? We saw Cybermind take the pistol. I think they took the pistol. No, in fact, it was 228 who took the pistol. Cybermind responded with their first buy round. But ever since then, it's pretty much been the 228 show, right? Mina with the A's, you saw B's with a couple of 4Ks on that A side, and now they get to dictate the pace of the game, and boy, are they taking it right in the faces of Cybermind. Backstab though, will net 1, but that's all he's good for. Last 2 remaining, Deagles only. Don't think they should get too much done, but a little bit of extra chip damage on the economy is always going to help in the long run.
The reaction time coming from the side of 228, they are very, very decisive and they definitely know what they want to do. But there's a really good shot coming from the side of Sinky, but unfortunately Minato jumps right into the fray and managed to get a really nice AK shot right down onto Sinky as well. It does seem like that curse of the number 4 is a little bit tough for Cybermind to break through. And even for the side of 228, it's kind of seems as though they have told themselves like, yeah, the most that we can give the opponents is 4 wins. Anything after that is our issue. Like, we can't ever go across that 4 wins. And I'm gonna be really surprised if 228 actually closes the game out with a total of 16-4. I really will.
I really do think that's actually going to happen, because you can see right now, again, it's just another round for Deagles, right? Because Cybermind, they opted to force in to round number 17, so now they're being made to pay the price for it. Kills just all coming in favor of 228. That is until Dovka gets 2 headshots
through the smoke, and that
2v3 now, but the guns are irretrievable, right? One's been retrieved, but Lidovka, he has to ace it, and he's not going to.
That's not gonna happen. That's hands down not gonna happen. We're looking at 14-4 now. 228 with a massive, massive lead in front. And we are looking at 2 more rounds before 228 eventually bring this game out. one thing that's surprising is that not surprising actually. Cybermind has went through with another pause on their end, using up 3 out of the 4 pauses that they have available. And 228, I don't think that they entirely care about their pauses. They are ready to storm through with all kinds of strategies and all kinds of very decisive maneuvers that they have in their arsenal. And I gotta say, if I were on the side of Cybermind, I would be scared shitless, because 228, they are just so aggressive, and wherever that they go, you give them a single half a second, your head will be blown off already.
Yeah, you don't. If you're the side of 228, right, you don't have to call timeout at all. You know you've got the momentum. You know you've got your opponent's back against the wall. You know your map up. So all the pressure is on Cybermind at the moment. 228 just reveling, rashing this opportunity. Right, they can take it. They can take the map here and now. Why? Because it's 14-4. If they win this, it's 15. And more importantly, this is the buy round for Cybermind. So if they do lose this, could be all she wrote. 228 looks as though it's gonna be a set strategy. 3 out middle, 2 out towards mid. A fast A split. What can this do? Flashes in towards the connector. 2 players up there already finding the opener as well as the second. Trade comes in, but it's still in the favor of 228. Cybermind. Now Litovka has to go big on this A side. Only good for 1. Now his teammate. 1v2.
Sinky. This time, he's gonna go big or go home. He's creeping right behind. He almost made his way down to default, but unfortunately, the timing and the RNG is just not there for him. Almost just sneaking past them, and if that actually happened, that would have been a nutty kill coming from the side of Cybermind, and of course a nutty win coming from the side of Cybermind. We are now on match point, 15-4. 228 is pushing themselves a lot towards the northern area, with all of them just pushing and just holding down, with one person holding mid, one person holding by T-base, and 2 members pushing right through onto apartments, also onto underpass, with an aggressive front from Cybermind. It did not go well at all, and every single one of the members coming from Cybermind will have to wield themselves with a couple of FAMAs. 228 will have so much more aggression and so much more advantage with the amount of utilities that they have, the AKs that they have, and I'm pretty sure that they have gotten enough information as to where the members of Cybermind are as well. It's just gonna be slowly making their way over to the side. 228, they're just splitting up. 2% right by apartments, 3 members right by mid. Anscary, HP is all the way down low. It does seem like he got tagged a little bit by Cybermind, but they are not gonna give a single damn about A side at all. With 3 of the members heading their way down over to short. They are making a pretty impressive entry, with 2 of the members coming from Cybermind left. 2v5. How exactly are they supposed to come back into this game, Gobbles?
There's no way that they're gonna find their way back. Why? Because Lufina, again, just 2 kills to close out the game. 16-4. That's all she wrote.
Impressive games coming in from the side of 228. An impressive 2-0 in favor for themselves. And congratulations over to 228 as they manages to scar themselves as the winners, the champions of the GF Esports Cup Moldova. Thank you so much over to Moldova Esports Federation for organizing this. It's all part of the GF World Connected Series 2021.